Only the really, I hate to say this, but those with the lowest IQ. And he's like this, and we were, I need water, help me, I need water, help. And this is on live television. No good. No good. Running against the worst candidate in the history of presidential politics puts pressure on me. Could you imagine if I lose my whole life? What am I going to do? Dumb people, liberal people. Running against the worst candidate in the history of presidential politics puts pressure on me. Could you imagine if I lose my whole life? What am I going to do? I'm going to say, I lost to the worst candidate in the history of politics. I'm not going to feel so good. Maybe I'll have to leave the country. I don't know. Isn't it wonderful to allow protesting? No. Isn't it wonderful to allow protesting? No. Isn't it wonderful to allow protesting? No. Isn't it wonderful to allow protesting? No.
Hello? Oh, hello? Is this thing on? Hello? Hey! What's poppin'? Hey! I had probably the worst morning in my life. I did not get anything that I planned on getting done. And that's completely fine. So I don't have any coffee, I don't have anything. All I got is this fucking bottle of water. That's all I got, folks. That's all I got. But, yeah, so welcome to Above It All 1023. 1117. Dev J, my account was suspended by dullards. What happened? How did you get suspended? That's scary. But, yeah, so, yes. I've only got, like, a couple things lined up for today. It might be a little bit of a shorter episodic installation. I'm so sorry. Please do not discriminate against me on this current moment in time. But I've got some questionable things. I've got some things that deserve to be questioned. I've got some things that I think people should be skeptical of. I've got all kinds of things. I've got some bits. I've got some bobs. I've got everything in between. So, hello Bodan. Hello Cloud. Hello Felix. Hello Antifa. And hello, Dev J question mark. That's your new name, Dev J question mark. Dev J, more like. There you go. How low energy do you have to be to lose to Sleepy Joe? That's a great question, Unknown Story. Probably, and I really hate to say this, but
only the really, I hate to say this, but those with the lowest IQ.
Not good, folks. Not good. Yeah, so I don't have that much of a long show prepared today. In fact, I really don't have much of any show prepared today, but I'm going to get through it. I'm a little bit low energy today. You know, I'll be less like this tomorrow. I woke up about 15 minutes ago. Didn't drink any coffee. So, that's, this is my personal life. So enough with the blog. Let's get into something very particularly interesting. Let's get into something that, it's just interesting. It's just something that, is super interesting. News flash, by the way, but my mouse is broken. And it doesn't do anything correctly. So, throwing that out there, if there's any technical errors that occur at any point, my mouse is broken. The clicks sometimes double click on accident, like, I hold it down and it registers as 2 clicks. So my mouse is not having a good time. I did order a new one yesterday, but it will take a wee bit to arrive. So, throwing that out there. But either way, here we have Devin Nunes and Lou Dobbs suggest, they don't even suggest, they just outright say that Republicans are being beta males. They're weak, folks, because they haven't called an election what it is. And what it is fraudulent in their minds. Let's watch. Hello? Okay.
We all lived through this. We all know this.
Yes.
The president doesn't want a statue erected to him. What he wants is a free and fair election and honest results, and it's being denied to him. And we all know that. It is outrageous.
I love how Devin is trying to get a word in here, and Lou Dobbs is going on this passionate old man rant. He's passionate, he's mad, he won't be interrupted, but he's speaking as slowly as molasses rolling down a fucking hill at a 30-degree angle. It's pretty bad to listen to.
Results, and it's being denied to him. And we all know that. It is outrageous. And what I would, if I may, what I'd like to know is what in the hell is the Republican Party doing to defend and to, why not just say we're not going to accept the results of this election? It's outrageous.
Yes,
why would we put up with it?
This is why I think it's so critical. In order to win these battles, we have to have a place that we can communicate. And that's the challenge. And so you ask, what are we doing now? Yeah. That's why millions of Americans are flooding over to Parler. They're flooding over to Rumble. This has never happened in our
Congressman,
history.
with all due respect, Congressman, and
I love this. I love this. Okay, so Devin Nunes is really trying here. He's really trying to do something. There's something he's trying to do. I'm not quite sure what it is, but Devin Nunes is really trying here. And Lou Dobbs isn't having any of it. Can't even get halfway through his fucking thesis. And Lou Dobbs is cutting him off. With all due respect, Congressman. But what you just said is a bunch of bullshit.
Due respect, Congressman, and I respect the hell out of you. But pushing Parler and Rumble is not an answer to what I'm asking.
No, because
you've got to have something to say, and you're on either one of those. I would hope that there'd be more interest in the content than in the messenger.
Right, no, but I think we're supposed to say the same thing here, Lou. If I go out, other than on your show and a few other shows, nobody's going to put me on to talk about you just had Scott Perry on from Pennsylvania talking about the corruption there, talking about, this election should not be called. But what's happening out there because of the media putting out this narrative.
What are you doing? What is the party doing to make certain it isn't called? I see so little animation in the Republican Party on this. It's as if it's just another day at the store. And when, in fact, I believe the fate of the Republic hangs in the balance here. Don't you?
I couldn't agree with you more.
So they're really, really trying their best here to make it seem like this election has been stolen. But as Lou Dobbs says, where is the Republican Party? The Republican Party is not getting their fucking fingers wet on this shit because they know it's a giant disaster. They know Trump lost. Again, what's the argument? That Democrats cheated to get the presidency but not the Senate and the House? What? What a dumb argument. Sorry, what a stupid fucking argument. But seriously though, it's just this whole charade, this whole thing, and this is on Fox as well, by the way. This isn't on OAN or something, which I will get into later. I have an OAN clip if anyone's curious what the absolute state of OAN is. Spoiler alert, it's not good, right? But this is Fox News. This is Lou Dobbs on Fox Business just going on a bizarre rampage. Your own network called it, Lou. Why don't you resign from Fox News and protest? Is that going to happen? Are you going to resign from protest because your media company called the election? I don't think so, right? I don't know. This whole thing is just it's really low effort. It's really low energy. And it's really honestly embarrassing to watch them squirm like this. It really is. And I hope that they get the help that they need. I personally really, really do. Because as of this current moment, it's a little sad. My eyeball's itchy. Oh, God. Oh no. Okay. Hello, Sam. Welcome to the broadcast. December 14th for the win. Long live the Constitution. Yo, these people are so fun. They just like come in and give me free entertainment. Like, it's just... That's what I love about these people that worship a document that they've never read before. Like, yeah, the Constitution says nothing about if an incumbent president doesn't like the results, they can just take the results and squirm them up and do whatever they want. The Constitution doesn't say anything about that. Does the Constitution say that, oh yeah, if an incumbent president gets beaten in an election, they can just say that they don't accept the results and then everything's fine and then they'll stay in the White House for another 4 years? I'm pretty sure, and maybe I'm wrong. I haven't read the Constitution in like maybe a decade. I read it when I was a kid because I'm epic. But maybe I'm wrong. But last time I checked, there have been many incumbent presidents that have lost the election, and the Constitution didn't start kicking in. Hey, Mr. Grover Cleveland, are you upset that you lost the election? Do you want us to overturn the results? No, Constitution, don't worry about that. I'll just run again in 4 more years, right? Like, I don't know. It's weird. But hey, live whatever fantasy world that's currently preoccupying your mind, you are welcome to live there. That's fine. And I appreciate that sometimes that fantasy world leaks out. Like, you get some leakage into the real world, and I get to look at your fucking dumb ass. So, appreciated. Thank you for that. Also, everyone should like or dislike the stream. I don't care, right? Do whatever. Interact with the stream in any capacity. When you do, I get paid. Just think of it. If you like the stream, I get paid. Maybe not directly. Maybe there's no monetary value directly linked to that action, but it leads to me getting paid. So, give me that motherfucking money. Like the broadcast. I'm going to blow my nose on a paper towel. Oops. Ugh. Okay. I blew my nose on a paper towel. We are good to go. Alright. Do a video reviewing the Constitution. Maybe if you paid me, Haas. James Sergiant coming back in the chat room with more lack of understanding of basic English. I'm glad you're here, buddy. I'm glad you're here. Seriously, you don't want to change your Constitution? Seriously, yes we do. Anybody who has taken a simple glance at politics in the last 4 years would want to change the Constitution. The American Constitution is bogus garbage. The Senate? Are you kidding me? The Senate? You think we should have a fucking Senate? What? Like, if you want to, like, maybe not get rid of the Constitution, but just get rid of the Senate, maybe, I'll compromise. Like, I'll do a grand bargain if we can get rid of the fucking Senate. Destroy the fucking Senate, you can keep the rest, as far as I'm concerned. Alan Dershowitz, that guy connected to Jeffrey Epstein. Yeah, good source. George Washington in the chat room. Anyway, so let's talk about what this is. I think like this is a spiritual advisor to the president. I think this is the same bitch who like went and did that like rap video where she was like talking about like the power of Christ compelled someone or whatever, right? And so this is her saying that black people are terrorists. Let's watch.
Christ-likeness is not found in my gender. It is not found in my culture. It is not found in my ethnicity.
The music.
It is not found in KKK.
I can't with the music.
It is not found in Antifa. And
by the way, can we like again? I made a video about this yesterday, but like the idea that right-wingers don't know basic grammar is hilarious. It's not found in KKK. It's not found in KKK. What? It's not found in the KKK. The KKK. It's not KKK. They don't refer to themselves as KKK. They refer to themselves as the KKK, you dumb fuck.
It is not found in Antifa, and it is not found in Black Lives Matter. All which are anti-Christ.
They're
and even terrorist organizations.
Terrorists. I love this idea of linking the KKK to black people. I love that. Like, that's totally not going to bite them in the ass in the next couple years, right? Okay, so Here's the idea. Okay, so there's the KKK, and they're bad because they want to lynch black people. And then they've got the black people, Black Lives Matter, that don't want to be shot and killed by police. So you've got people that want to shoot and kill or lynch black people, and then black people who don't want to be shot, killed, or lynched. Yeah, those are basically the same thing. That's like, again, you've got the Nazis and they're exterminating Jewish people across Europe, and then you've got those people that are against the Nazis, and when they say that they're against the Nazis, they're willing to kill the Nazis in war. I mean, they're both basically the same thing, right? Like, you got black people who don't want to be killed, and then you've got KKK members who want to kill black people. I mean, again, they're both, it's, you know, again, 2 + 2, you know, or whatever 2 = 2 in that capacity. They're the same exact thing, according to this stupid fucking bitch. But again, this is the absolute state of the right wing. They have somehow managed to, because they don't have that understanding of English, that is something I've been mentioning about, they don't know what Black Lives Matter means. Like, Black Lives Matter is not an organization. Antifa is not an organization. They are loose ideological principles that people organize under. Like, for example, if there's, I don't know, a couple thousand black people in, I don't know, a local town, and I don't know, maybe one of them is shot and killed by police, and they decide, you know what? Maybe we shouldn't get shot and killed by police. Let's organize, and let's say that Black Lives Matter. Does that mean that they're part of an umbrella organization? No, it just means that Ricky called Johnny, and Johnny was like, let's do a fucking protest, and then they fucking did. These aren't organizations, motherfucker. But again, these people are so ludicrous. They cannot imagine a world, right, where there aren't these groups that get super funding from Koch brothers, because that's what they've done their entire lives. They've just milked money from their big papa bears, George Soros, Charles Koch, oops, Freudian slip, right? And that's all they know, right? So that's why they say that, oh, it's George Soros that's funding Antifa and BLM, because that's the closest that they can come up with without shattering their worldview, without shattering their fucking worldview. Because if they could truly grasp that people in this country have a genuine disgust with the way that this country works, young people especially, have a genuine disgust, not a dislike, not a distaste, but a disgust with the way that the American system works. Because realizing that that is the case, that's a much scarier project and or prospect. The idea that, oh, there's an entire generation that doesn't even care about the Constitution. They don't give a shit about the Supreme Court. They don't give a shit about the Senate. They don't give a fuck about police. They just want an equitable world to live in, and they're willing to go organize for it. That is a scary prospect. And right now, the right wing is currently in the phase of denial. Oh, it's just a group on par with the KKK. What? Black Lives Matter is the same as the KKK in this person's mind. I literally, what? What? That's bizarre stuff. But again, they really just don't know what they're talking about. These people aren't really in the same world that we're all in. When you've got a manufactured history where the KKK, yeah, I mean, they're a terrorist group, right? They endorsed my political party, but they're still terrorists, right? We gotta throw them under the bus somehow. And you know, that little 19-year-old black kid protesting because their dad was shot and killed by cops on live video? That black kid, terrorist? Imagine saying that. But and again, this idea that these people are like, BLM attacks people. What? Black Lives Matter attacks people? What? That literally is not, there's no grammatical, there's no English there. BLM attacks people. So, what does that mean? So what that means, BLM attacks people, is I saw a video of a black person do something I didn't like. BLM is a substitute for black in the modern day right wing. When they say things like fuck BLM or BLM are terrorists, BLM are rioters, what they are really saying are black people are terrorists, Black people are rioters. Black people need to get back in their place because they should know better. That's what these people are saying. I say, fuck that bullshit. You should let anybody do whatever they think is just in their fight for freedom. Or, if you don't like that idea, how about you just give them equal rights? How about you just give everyone freedom? But no. That's a scary concept to the right-wingers. They want black people and all minority classes to be subservient to them. Good ones. Tokens, if they will. But no, I disagree with that. The idea that the KKK and Black Lives Matter activists are somehow in any capacity even remotely similar? Jesus fucking Christ. 2,600 votes uncounted in Florida? I have no idea. I don't live in Florida. I'm sorry. I'll look at it later if you want. But, not right now. BLM are a bunch of white liberals. Again, in this person's mind, okay, BLM isn't a substitute for black people. But there are no such thing as black people. This is one of those other tropes where it's like, but you think those black people are actually capable of thinking that they don't want to be shot and killed by police? You don't think that? This is this guy in the chat room. Y'all think the black people, when they see their brothers and mothers and sisters getting shot and killed by the police, y'all think that black people are actually going to be capable of going out there and protesting? I say hell no. Black people's lives matter is only a white liberal ideology. There ain't no black person that would ever go out there and protest for their own rights and freedoms in their own country that they live in. No. Black Lives Matter is actually a Russian bot farm controlled by white liberals. There's no such thing as a black person with a brain big enough to think, maybe I don't want to be shot by the police. There ain't no such thing. Black Lives Matter is made by white liberals. I'm very smart. Like, dude, I'm sorry. You're a dullard. You're a dumb motherfucker. Please, get, mental help. It's not good. I'm sorry. Okay, really, this shit is fucking far away from facts and reality. God damn. Holy shit. Alright, so I should have done a clip of Kenneth Copeland because we are going to be talking about One American News Network that are still currently in Copeland. So this is their map that they've been broadcasting as of yesterday. Now you might be wondering, what's going on with this map? What's so interesting about this map? Well, a lot of the swing states aren't filled in. Okay, alright, that they haven't been called yet. But wait, what is that I see? Now, it might just be because I live here, but I see North Carolina filled in as red. So, okay, North Carolina, which is the last state that was called. North Carolina was literally the last state that was called. That counts because it went for Trump. Ohio? That counts because it went for Trump. Michigan, Wisconsin? Whoa! North Carolina was a lower margin than Michigan. Michigan was a blowout. Joe Biden won Michigan in a blowout. But whoa, buddy. All right, 17 seconds. Let's go.
You're looking at the latest, most up-to-date tally of electoral votes in the 2020 presidential race. We here at One American News are the only ones providing truthful, accurate numbers, as we believe President Trump, as you can see, still has a chance of winning. You're looking at the latest.
And the best part is they throw North Carolina in there, right? So that they can get Trump to 232. So it's like, yeah, Trump's in the lead, guys. Trump's in the lead. It's like, I don't know, man. And this is the thing. North Carolina, if North Carolina went for Biden, that'd be pretty cool. Because North Carolina's fucking races have been extremely tight. We've got commissioner races, attorney general races, secretary of state races. We have Supreme Court races in the state that are extremely tight. Some of them are bouncing around by hundreds of votes. I think the Chief Justice race is still bouncing around by less than 200 votes. That still has not been called yet because they're still counting in North Carolina, and things are extremely close. But hey, Trump looks like he won, so there's no lawsuits here, right? Trump's got a lower margin in North Carolina than he does in Michigan, than he does in Pennsylvania, right? But he won, so that doesn't matter. And they declared that he was the victor, so we'll take it, right? We'll rely on the media's predictions when it comes to North Carolina. But when it comes to Arizona, no, can't do it. No such thing. When it comes to Michigan, a state that was a blowout, not even close, no way. You can't call that. That's against the rules, because if you do that, then Biden will have 237 and Trump will have 232. And then Trump will be losing, and we can't show that to our people because facts don't matter in the One America News Network mind. It's ridiculous, dude. Pennsylvania has been called. I know, I hate it. I hate that you're so upset about this, but Philadelphia exists. Philadelphia is a city that exists. It's not in New Jersey. It's in Pennsylvania. And those motherfuckers voted for Joe Biden. And there's a lot of motherfuckers that live in Philadelphia, let me just tell you. And they don't like Donald Trump. Donald Trump is a loser. He lost, okay? Georgia, same thing with Atlanta. I understand right-wingers' feelings are really hurt at the idea that, oh, black people are going to vote for once. I know, it's scary to them. Georgia's a blue state now. Get with it. Arizona, they voted to legalize marijuana. That's pretty fucking cool, isn't it? Right? They've got 2 Democratic senators for the first time in God knows how long. They're doing a great job over there in Arizona. But again, the cope here is just extreme. I wouldn't have ever imagined that we would be 2.5 weeks after this election. Like, seeing election night play out, right? There was a lot of scenarios that could have happened, right, on election night. But seeing election night play out the way it did, right, and then Michigan and Wisconsin being called the next day, the idea that this election is still going on in these people's minds is ridiculous, right? Like, this election was almost as clear-cut as the last election, and the only reason why it wasn't is because media networks were a little bit apprehensive about calling states before mail-in ballots started to be counted, which I agree with, right? So, really, I mean, again, the final results are the exact same as the 2016. It just so happens that the colors red and blue are just switched around a little bit, and I know that that triggers people. But guess what? At the end of the day, Donald Trump got less votes. Who cares if he manages to eke out some sort of cheating affairs in the state of Wisconsin? The guy got 5 million less votes. He's a loser. He's a failure, and he's a piece of garbage, okay? But hey, at least you got your little token. He did get more votes than the first black president. So there you go. Hold your hat on that, and then watch Trump leave the White House because the guy's a fucking loser. That's what I have to say. Hello, Mr. Mudd in the chat room. Oh, God. I smoked a lot last night. My throat hurts. Why doesn't Biden contest North Carolina? Because he doesn't need to. He won the election. He's not a child. He doesn't give a shit. Dumbass. The election results are going to the Supreme Court. Oh, really? Oh, really, George Washington? Because the Supreme Court actually announced today that they're not going to accept a case from Pennsylvania, which was the case that was most likely, if that strategy was going to happen, the case that was most likely going to be the one. Look up the news, buddy. Sorry about your luck. Sorry about your luck. You're a loser, George Washington. You're a loser. You can cling to this Constitution and pretend that that lets you change the rules, but, nope. Not in the real world. Sorry. Here's a little tweet I found. It was actually a couple days ago. SCOTUS has no bearing on Pennsylvania. Late ballots received after 8 p.m. Election Day Friday number around 10,000. SCOTUS could literally gift them all to Trump, plus Biden still wins PA by 50,000 votes. It's arguing over an FG with 5 seconds on the clock. I don't know what that means. I'm guessing it's some sort of sports thing. But this is literally the first thing I found when you look up the SCOTUS in Pennsylvania. It's done. Your shit's gone. It's gone, dude. You're done. I'm sorry. I really do. The Supreme Court will not weigh in because there is no path to victory. Trump lost. Field goal? Okay, well, field goal more like Schmield small, okay? I don't give a shit about that. 22 hours ago, U.S. News on Twitter. Supreme Court has declined to take up a case challenging Pennsylvania's absentee ballot receipt deadline. Trump's campaign and Republicans have waged legal battles in Pennsylvania and around the country. Many of those cases so far have been unsuccessful. I'm sorry, dude. Like, I'm sorry. Like, you just look this shit up, and you've got, like, 15 trillion fucking sources. Like, do you want the New York Times? Do you want the Washington Post? They're all reporting the same thing. Like, dude, I'm sorry. Like, I'm sorry about your luck. It really sucks when you lose an election. I know. Like, I know. I went through this, like, 7 months ago. Right? Like, I went through this, like, 7 or 8 months ago. It sucks, dude. For real. It's no good. U.S. News on Twitter is far left. What? U.S. News is far left. Okay. Alright. U.S. News is far left, everybody. What's next? The New York Times far left? Is the New York Times far left? What do you think? Dude, this motherfucker. If this motherfucker said the New York Times are far left, really? You need to learn how the Electoral College works. You need to learn how the Electoral College works. Trump lost. Pennsylvania has 20 electoral votes and they went for Joe Biden. Joe Biden has over 270. That means he has won the election. You need to learn. Like, you lost, dude. You lost. It's over. Like, it literally is over. I know. It sucks for you, right? You're done. You're done. No, they can't, dude. It's over. You lost. Like, if your only hope is that they'll cheat and do, like, a legal loophole, right, and risk destruction of the country, if that's your hope, then, dude, I mean, woo! Okay, but, like, come on, man. There's nothing saying they have to go with the voters. Okay! Alright, George Washington. Okay, alright. Everybody, alright. It appears we've got our Daily Dullard. Who cares about the voters? Who cares about the voters? The Constitution says fuck the voters. Alright, George Washington. Okay. Fuck the voters. Fuck the voters, right? Alright, so you went from the Supreme Court will decide the election. That was your cope 5 minutes ago. And then I showed you news from the far left New York Times, the far left U.S. News site. Far left sources such as the New York Times, I showed you, that said that the Supreme Court would not take on Pennsylvania. So, alright, the Supreme Court, I know that was your cope 5 minutes ago, but 5 minutes later your cope is the votes don't matter? Adams v. Jackson! Dude, this motherfucker's like talking about like the third presidential election in history as if it has any bearing. Dude, talk about a cope. Holy shit. Talk about a fucking cope. My God. My God, dude. This is one cringy motherfucker. Talk about a cope. Holy shit. I legit can't believe this guy is being so cringe. I legit, like, these people, like, again, 5 minutes ago is the Supreme Court. Like, 5 minutes ago. Like, this guy is not even giving, like, a couple days to, like, re-energize the conspiracy theories. Right? It's like, you know, it's like if someone's playing, like, poker, right? And I've never played poker, so bear with me. And they've got, like, a really good hand, right? And then they, like, proudly display that really good hand, right? And then it turns out, like, the other person has a better hand. It's like, oh, yeah, the Supreme Court? Oh, I'm sorry, they just declined to take that case. And then, like, it's like you slip, like, another, like, hand out of your sleeve. And it's like, wait a second, you thought I was talking about the Supreme Court? Hell no. I was saying the voters don't even matter. Like, whoop! Look at that one. Just changing it up real quick. Who cares about voters? You think we live in an electoral system? Dude, Nick Wash, I will do that after the stream. I'm sorry. I don't know anything about that. I don't live in Florida. I have no prerequisite knowledge. I'm sorry. I'm not that person to deal with, like, Florida voter stuff. If you want to send me a link or something that I can follow through on, that'd be nice, though. It's the Supreme Court. No, wait, the votes don't matter. No, wait, it's the Electoral College. No, wait, it's the electors. No, wait, it's the Supreme Court. No, wait, there's still 11 more lawsuits. No, wait, it's not just the Pennsylvania lawsuits, the Michigan law. No, wait, North Carolina's been called, by the way. That one's not, it's closer than every other state, but no, wait, but Georgia, the recount. No, but wait, no, not the, no, but it was in Arizona, it was in the retiree, and no, and then it was the runoff, and then the Democrat, and then the Senate, and then Trump, and then the million, and then Trump like golf, and then he won the and then also the Supreme Court, and then Amy Coney Barrett, and then also, and then the electors, the Constitution, Black Lives Matter as terrorists, by the way. I'm very smart. Like, that's you. It's like, you're an embarrassment. I'm sorry. Like, I know it sucks, like, being an embarrassing piece of garbage, but hey, luckily you're a coward and you're a beta male and you're using a fucking alt account named George Washington. So it's like, okay, you can post the stupid cringe and you won't get fired from your job, or you like your uncle won't make fun of you. That's fine. Beta males too afraid to use their real fucking internet username. You can't, like, I'm not even asking for your real legal, like, government name. I'm asking for, like, a username besides George fucking Washington. Like, yes, my username is George Washington in the chat room. I am a constitutional scholar. Oh, you thought I was talking about the Supreme Court? I got news for you. I was actually talking about the idea that votes don't even matter whatsoever. I'm George Washington, by the way. Like, dude, like, imagine, like, that's a whole new level of cringe, by the way. It would be like if I made my username like fucking, I don't know, like Bernie Sanders. Like, my username is just Bernie Sanders. It's not some bullshit I came up 10 years ago when I was playing video games. No, my username is just going to be Bernie Sanders, and I'm going to go to chat rooms, and I'm going to talk about a bunch of bullshit. That's going to be, like, what? Like, dude, you're an embarrassment. Like, Jesus Christ. Like, I'm sorry. Like, I'm sorry. This shit is embarrassing. Oh, okay, now Trump lost the election all of a sudden. Oh, no, the person making fun of me is transgender, and I'm getting owned by someone who's transgender, and my low testosterone levels are hardly able to understand the idea that someone transgender is making fun of me on YouTube! And then you explode because you're a fucking loser, dude. You are a loser. Like, I'm sorry, like, oh no, yes, I'm trans. I used to be a boy. Wow, got me. Exposed. I'm so offended. Oh no! Oh! I'm picked on in a chat room! Like, dude, you got me. I'm done. I'm washed up. Alright, I'm gone. This is my last stream. I'm done, right? But that doesn't change the fact that you said the Supreme Court was going to decide the election, and then, when given a little bit of pushback, you said, the Supreme Court? What? No, we're just not going to count any votes. That's what you said. Like, me being transgender doesn't affect the idea that you have really bad arguments and you need to cope a little better. Like, I'm sorry. Like, it's just, come on, man. This is embarrassing stuff. It is real. Oh, I'm triggered. Yep. Anyone that ever makes fun of my arguments is triggered, obviously. That's my personal defense mechanism. So if someone were to ever say anything that I disagree with, instead of actually trying to tackle with a new idea, instead of trying to learn something that maybe otherwise was not in my analysis, oh, they're just triggered. They're just triggered. Okay, so I can just ignore everything that they're saying because they're triggered, right? It's not like I just switched my argument within 5 minutes, right? No. It's just that everyone I disagree with is triggered, and I am the arbiter of IQ and facts and knowledge. By the way, my YouTube username is George Washington. Like, what the fuck? Dude, Nick Wash, please. Please, bear with me. What is this? Georgia's election audit uncovers 26 ballot. I thought you were talking about Florida. First it's Florida, now it's Georgia? Motherfucker! Pick one! Pick one! I'll look at that later. Maybe I'll look at it tomorrow. Talk about it tomorrow. But, switched. I made multiple arguments, but that one went way over your head. Like, okay, dude. When you come up with an argument because your first argument got eviscerated on live television. That's not having multiple arguments. That's switching arguments. You would have not said that the electors chose the election, but for your conspiracy theory about the Supreme Court was proven wrong, because you would have had no reason to say that people's voting shouldn't matter. You would have no reason to say that, because that's giving up the goose a little bit. That's the quiet part out loud. You don't want people to know that you don't care about people's votes. That's kind of the thing. You want to count the legal votes. You got your conspiracy theories mixed up. You, right, would not have made that claim but for the idea that I debunked your first claim. Damn right, dude. I get no views. I'm exposed. Dumb little tranny gets 13 views. How many views do I have? I don't know. Let me look. 30 views. Dumb tranny gets 30 views. Now, how does that make Trump president? Okay. So I'll accept the idea. I'm dumb. I'm a tranny. I get 30 views. So how does that make Trump president in January? What is like the through line there? So step one, call the tranny a tranny on YouTube. All right, done. Got that. That's in the belt. That's grayed out. It's been accomplished. Step two, question mark, question mark, question mark. Step three, Donald Trump is president. Right? What's going on? Where's that middle part? Because there seems to be a missing functional function in your thesis here. Mr. George. Old Georgie. God, these people, again, not sending their best. The Trumpers are not sending their best. I remember, like, George Washington was, like, the dumpster sludge. When I was getting, like, 35 fucking spam comments every 15 seconds by Trumpers back during the election, right? Like, George Washington was dumpster sludge, like, bottom of the barrel. Like, this guy was, like, having their eyeballs poked through from the sludge that gets, like, collected at the bottom of a barrel, right? And all the Trumpers, they're gone. They ran away. They're scared because Donald Trump lost. They're embarrassed to show themselves in public. But then enter George Washington, the guy with an alt account, because they're too much of a beta male to use their real online identity or, God forbid, their real name. So they need to make an alt account. And their alt account isn't going to be like Banana Fungus 1379. Their alt account isn't going to be Rainbow Monkey 1639, right? Their alt account is George Washington. Again, if that doesn't describe the ridiculousness of this caricature, I don't know what else does. George Washington. If you look up my username on any other website, you will find information related to me. If I look up George Washington on any other website, you know what I'm going to find? Nothing about you. What is my real name? My real name is Andrea Rovenski. Feel free to Google that one if you'd like. I am not afraid of attaching my opinions to who I am because I'm not a beta male, unlike yourself. Like, I'm sorry, like, that you're so embarrassed of your beliefs. I'm sorry. I know, I used to be embarrassed of my beliefs. And you know what I did? I didn't really say them out loud because I was embarrassed. You, on the other hand, you've got an alt account and you're just spewing forth from your fingertips, dude. It's embarrassing. It's no good. The literal definition of a beta male. Anyone I disagree with is trans and filled with soy. And that's how Trump will win the election. Like, I'm still waiting. I'm waiting. Yes, I've been swatted. I am waiting for you to explain how me being a soy boy beta male tranny makes Trump, again, going to be president in February. I'm very much so interested in this argumentation. I don't know why it's taken so long. No. This is your argument. You said Trump will be president in February. I want to know how all of this is making Trump president. Unless you just want to admit you're being a troll. Like, you're just here to just, if I call the streamer a tranny one more time, maybe my dick will grow another inch. That's you. It's weird. I see no reason. Like, again, you don't see me with an alt account username of, like, John Brown going into random streams and calling them fucking, like, oh, you're white. Did you know that white people are evil and the spawn of Satan? You don't see me with an alt account, like, fucking, like, again, it's ridiculous, dude. This shit is fucking ludicrous. Like, what are you doing? What are you doing? Seriously? Like, Jesus. Yeah, Nick Wash. Again, I have your shit open. I got it open, buddy. I will look at it after the show. I don't like researching stuff like I know nothing about this. I've got it open in another tab. Like, you can hear the audio.
Uncounted ballots.
Right? Like, I've got it in another tab. We're good. I'll take a look at it after. So, dude, George Washington, you're not taking over the stream. The stream is over. Like, okay, so here's the thing. Okay, I would have ended the stream. The stream would be over. I would be masturbating and making breakfast if it were not for you. But instead, I'm here. People are still watching. I'm still getting watch time. I'm still going to make ad revenue. I'm still doing this and that. I'm getting the search results. I'm getting the likes, the dislikes. I'm still profiting from sitting here and mocking a dullard. What have you been doing? Like, okay. Yeah, you really owned that streamer by getting them more money. Wow. You got me? Awesome. Yeah, and guess what? That's 50 cents that I otherwise did not have. And when I upload 10 videos a day, 50 cents a video, that's not bad. That's not bad. Did I miss the $1 of the day reward ceremony? No, you're good. Don't worry. Here we are. Everybody? Again, they're not sending their best. It's just, jeez.
Only the really, I hate to say this, but those with the lowest IQ.
But the thing is, like, George Washington, I don't give a shit about the money. Like, all I need is money for this and to pay my bills. And guess what? I'm content with my life. I know that upsets you. I know your whole ideology is about exterminating mass cultures that you disagree with and absorbing their resources and making yourself an empire in one person. I know that you play Civilization at night and you really fantasize really heavily about that stuff. But dude, most people don't give a shit. Yeah, I make enough money from YouTube to subsist on. It's pretty cool. I get to say what my opinions are, right, on a microphone, and my rent is paid. That's pretty cool. I get to pay my rent by responding to dullards like you. Donald Trump didn't lose miserably because Sleepy Joe was the people's favorite choice. He lost because America would have voted for a fossilized dinosaur crap over your dumb fascist orange pig. That's absolutely correct. Yo, if it weren't for like the depression that happened this year, I think Trump would have won, personally. Biden is such a terrible candidate. George Washington has been coming to every single one of my streams for a couple months now. I don't live with my parents, George Washington. Like, if you want to believe that I do, if believing in your world that I live with my parents, right, if that makes you feel better, okay, alright. But, I got news for you. I have two parents. One of them is dead. The other one lives in New Jersey. Oh, you heard? You heard me say that? Well, that's interesting because I've never said that. Now, you may have heard me say I'm on my father's insurance. Maybe. But you've never heard me say I live with my father, because I don't live with my father. I've never lived with my father. Like, come on, dude. This is okay, so now I said it, apparently. And your proof is... Are you going to go back and get the clip? George Washington in the chat? Are you going to go get this clip of me saying this thing that's not true? Do you want to go get the clip? I'll gladly love to see the clip of me exposing myself. Yeah, I don't live in North Carolina. I LARP. I live in New Jersey, actually, with my dad. Yeah, there you go. There's your clip. I just LARP that I live in North Carolina. I, as someone who's transgender, am just LARPing that I live in a southern state when I really live in New Jersey. Aunt and uncle? No. Grandparents? No. Sorry, buddy. I know your whole little fantasy world is falling apart. I get it, dude. It sucks. I get to pay my rent. I get to enjoy my life. I have enough money for marijuana. I have enough money to read books. I have enough money to watch some movies like on Netflix and stuff. I've got enough money to feed myself. And all I do is talk about how Donald Trump's a piece of shit on a microphone. I know. That's wild, right? That's all I do, is I sit here and I talk about how Donald Trump, your favorite human on planet Earth, is a baby just like you, and I get paid for it. I get it. It sucks, right? The idea that someone like me, tranny beta male, isn't getting a real job, I know it sucks. But hey, that's capitalism for you. Oh, right, my roommates that are paying my way. Right, it's not possible that I live with people and we all split the rent and utilities equally. That's not possible. That's not possible. Someone else has to be paying my way. It's not that, I don't know, maybe if you live in North fucking Carolina, like I say openly, like I don't live in a city, dude. I live in North fucking Carolina in the middle of nowhere. Like rent is not expensive here. Utilities are maybe a little expensive, but it's not more than it would be in a city. Like this shit is not expensive to live here, okay? And when you distribute it amongst people that are satisfied with living with each other, it's a good deal, okay? I don't know how to drive. I live with people that know how to drive, all right? It's a beneficial situation for me if I want to go to the store to live with people that know how to drive. Now, if you want to make fun of me for not knowing how to drive, that's fine. I grew up in a city. I just moved here last year. I haven't learned yet. But maybe I'll learn next year. Maybe I'll learn 5 years from now. Who knows? But if that's when you want to pick me on, that's fine. Okay, let's talk about more, like, beneficial relationships, right? That you can maybe be involved with. Oh, I don't know. Someone knows how to fix, plumbing. I don't. Someone I live with does. That's a pretty beneficial relationship. We get to pay equal things. Guess what I do that they don't do usually? I vacuum every now and then, right? I wash dishes every now and then. It's a mutual relationship. I understand. The idea of people living together in harmony and making up a code to live by, you do this, you do that, we do that, we do that, and then we split the bills equally. I understand. That's scary for you. I understand. That's horrifying, because the idea that human beings can live together in peace and harmony goes against your entire worldview. Because you're a selfish piece of garbage. You've lived your entire life attacking other people, mocking other people you don't know and you're too embarrassed to talk to with a real identity. Do you want to call me on the phone? I'll give you my phone number right now, George Washington. Do you want to call me on the phone with your real phone number and have your voice heard with your real voice on the stream? Dude, I'm 24 years old, George Washington. I don't have a mortgage for 7 years. Like, I get it. You're 50. You have no wife. You have no kids. You're lonely. And this is what you do all day. You talk to trannies on YouTube. Okay, I get it. All right, I get it. Oh, right. You're at work, so you can't call me on the phone. Right. Always an excuse. You're working, yet all I see you do here is spam. Donald Trump will win the election over and over in the chat room. But you're working. Now all of a sudden you're working now? Okay, all right. you being in the chat room posting 15 messages a minute, that's fine. You actually speaking with your real voice and using your real phone number? Whoa, buddy. Whoa. That's asking a lot. That's asking a lot. Your kids are 10 and 7? You had a kid when you were 19? This motherfucker! Oh my god, this motherfucker had a kid when he was 19 and he wants to call me a loser? I'm sorry. I'm sorry, man. I'm like, what is that shit? You had a kid at 19 years old and you called me a loser? What? Jesus. That's embarrassing. That's embarrassing. Let me just tell you. And I don't want to say this to be rude to anyone that has kids at the age of 19. But you have to understand, this guy is talking about like as if he's so much better than me. As if he's like the perfect human being. It's ridiculous. The Daily Dollar, dude. The Daily Dollar. This is today's Daily Dollar. Like, it's like this guy, like, again. Like, you're coming at me, attacking me for being transgender because you feel that I'm a beta male and I'm beneath you? And yet, you're knocking up baby mamas when you're a fucking teenager? Jeez. Can't even control yourself? I got a job, provided for my girlfriend and son. I did the responsible thing, and yet here you are? Here you are. You provided for them, past tense. It's you no longer provide for them. Now you provide for me by, okay, oh, I've got a 7-year-old son. My 7-year-old son is currently alive. You know what I'm going to do instead of spending moments with my son? I'm going to troll the tranny on YouTube. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. That's what I'm going to do. I've got a 10-year-old child, and instead of spending my time playing catch, instead of spending my time teaching that kid how to fix a muffler, I'm going to spend my time trolling the tranny on YouTube. Like, dude, these motherfuckers, like, I really... Okay, so your kid's at school, and so that's why you're sitting in here and spending your time trolling the tranny on YouTube? Why aren't you on YouTube looking up how to be a better father? You know what I do in my spare time, George Washington? I look up a lot of stuff on, diet. I look up a lot of stuff on mental health. I look up a lot of stuff on, exercise. What exercise could benefit my body the most. Why? Because in the long run, my goal is to improve myself, right? So I could only imagine if I had kids, the things I would be looking up in my spare time while I'm in between working. Instead of trolling the tranny, why don't you look up how to make sure that your kids grow up well socially adjusted in a pandemic, right? Why don't you look up, how do I make sure that my kids don't turn out to be me and people that are 29 years old and troll the tranny on YouTube? Because that's embarrassing, dude. This is embarrassing. Like, are you going to teach your kid to troll the tranny? Is this going to be like a thing when your kid's 13 years old? Are you going to bring him into the live stream? All right, son, here's how you troll the tranny. I've been working for years so that I could show you the perfect technique. All you do is point out their eyebrows and Adam's apple. Trolled, the tranny's been trolled, and then you write soy boy and then rafflecopter, and then you leave the stream open and give them ad revenue for the rest of your life? Is that what you're going to teach your kid? Like, Jesus Christ. Like, it's embarrassing. And you're going to come to my chat room under the guise of George Washington? Of George Washington? Right? Like, Jesus. My God. Embarrassing. Embarrassing. George fucking Washington. Holy shit. Anyway, thank you for watching. I didn't have an hour's worth of show to do, but I ended up doing it anyway, so I apologize for the audio podcast listeners. I didn't read out all of George's messages, but you don't really need me to read out all of George's messages because they're all useless. So you can just imagine what they are as basic shit. George Washington says, "Why would I want to hurt anyone?" As they've been trolling the tranny, right, in the YouTube stream for an hour. Oh, I don't want to hurt people. No, that's why I go to people's live streams and tell them they're useless and that they should kill themselves. Because I don't want to hurt them. I don't want to hurt them. Facts and logic, everybody. Facts and logic. But again, these people, I made a video about this that I recommend everyone watch. I was pontificating yesterday. So I'm going to post this in the chat room. The right wing does not speak English. The right wing, when they think of America, they think of a different version of America. They think of a different country altogether. They don't live in the same world that we do. It's like a literal fractioning multiverse thing. Like in reality, in the real world, we all live together, right? But in their heads, they're able to concoct this reality that is otherwise not true. And I was talking about that yesterday, and I think that would shed a lot of light on things like George Washington here. The idea that they think they're really learning a valuable life skill by trolling the tranny on YouTube. I mean, it's ridiculous, right? It's ridiculous. But at the end of the day, you have to understand, they literally live in a different universe. This guy came in here saying the Supreme Court will decide the election. Oh, wait, no. When you told me that they won't because the Supreme Court declined to hear a case. Wait, what was my next cope? Right, the electors don't need to vote for who their state voted for. The votes don't matter. Yeah, the votes don't matter anymore. Democracy? I'm going to teach that to my 10-year-old? Yeah, when you lose an election, just say the votes don't matter. I'm going to teach my 10-year-old and my 7-year-old how to be sore losers. What a useless life skill. Yeah, my 10-year-old... All right, little Ricky. All right. When you lose at dodgeball, instead of accepting it like a real man, what you need to do is you need to take it to the principal, and then you need to get the DA involved. You didn't lose at dodgeball. You won. And then you need to nullify the results. Right? Like, what is this fucking crybaby bullshit, dude? You teach your kids how to act like you? My God? Anyway, thank you for watching. Imagine a world where soy boy trannies are better at being parents than George fucking Washington. Who'da thunk, right? Who'da thunk? Anyway, y'all have a good one. I'll see you again soon.
Only the really, I hate to say this, but those with the lowest IQ.
I'm about to be 34 and I have no family. I'm about to be 34 and I have no family. I'm about to be 34 and I have no family. I'm about to be 34 and I have no family. Because my dad had 2 kids by the time he was 27.
Yeah.
And I'm like, man, you know what the problem is though? It's definitely not me.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's everybody else.
You're dying. That's true. And it is what it is.
Dumb people, liberal people.
Antifa exists. Only the really, I hate to say this, but those with the lowest IQ. Isn't it wonderful to allow protesting? No. Isn't it wonderful to allow protesting? No. Isn't it wonderful to allow protesting? Isn't it wonderful to allow protesting?
The battle of righteousness versus Satan. Yes, Satan. Because these leftists are evil.
Running against the worst candidate in the history of presidential politics puts pressure on me. Could you imagine if I lose my whole life? What am I going to do? I'm going to say, I lost to the worst candidate in the history of politics. I'm not going to feel so good. Maybe I'll have to leave the country. I don't know.
No good. No good. Not good. Believe me, not good. No good. No good.
Well, you have to understand, the first time I ever heard of Black Lives Matter, they were chanting, pigs in a blanket, talking about police. Pigs. Pigs, talking about our police. Pigs, talking about our police. Pigs in a blanket, fry them like bacon. Isn't it wonderful to allow protesting? Now, as far as my relationships with all people, I think I have great relationships with all people. I am the least racist person in this room.